Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Saturday Night Sith. I am your host, Fractured Filter, and with me, as always, is my buddy Jay Hitman. How are you tonight, sir?
Doing good. Sad day, as most have already heard.
And as you found that video that we just played, and I thought it would be a perfect kind of way to kind of open things up and just kind of, because it works very well as kind of a tribute.
Yes.
To Kevin Conroy, the man, the voice of Batman himself. And like it said at the beginning of the video, it's like any of us 90s kids, we grew up watching his Batman, and that for me he's always been that cornerstone, that voice behind the cowl. That I know I've always kind of just at other unfortunate voice actors that have taken up the role, because it's just not the same.
No, it's really not.
They bring their own performance, certainly, but it's just not what we are so used to, because he does it so well too, of having where he's the Bruce Wayne sounding a lot lighter and stuff like that, and then he gets into the Batman voice.
Well, I think
it's not just growly or anything like that, but you hear the tone change, and you're like, "Oh, damn, it's on now."
It's not like Ben Affleck or what's funny is and I obviously come at it from a biased perspective, but this guy has I've been watching a lot of videos, and a lot of people I follow have were saying how he, not him, but like Batman per se, and his voice had gotten them through some
some
tough moments of tough times in childhood and everything, and through all the different actors and voice actors that have done Batman, this is the guy.
He's
for me
the one.
It's Kevin Conroy, and then Michael Keaton, and then we can go down.
Well,
Ben Affleck's not in. He's not included.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck, he's not.
But it's kind of the thing, right? It's like we have our tiers. It's like there's the live performance Batmans, and then the voice acted Batmans. It's like, okay, so where do you line things up and stuff like that? And it's like who's your goat and stuff, and it's definitely. Go ahead.
Well, I was just saying to your point, it's kind of like it's like when you watch. I just want to piggyback on what you said. It's like when you listen to other Batman, any other voice actor that does Batman, it's kind of like cringe, right? It's very similar. Well, not even similar. It's almost identical to like when you hear other Jokers, other voice actors other than Mark Hamill doing Joker. It's cringe.
Some people are they'll end up trying to mimic the people that came before them, and sometimes that's a problem, because then that's where like you say, kind of gets a little cringy. That they're trying to impersonate someone versus just maybe bringing their own performance, their own style or whatever to that role. But sometimes some people just get caught up in trying to maybe please the fans in a
Yeah.
sense and trying to recreate instead of, going off of their own thing. But, it's some tough shoes to fill, especially
It's
when they had, I mean, how long did Batman the animated series itself run? And then it
oh,
became the
I mean,
New
he
Adventures
started.
of Batman and Robin and stuff like,
Yeah.
or something like that,
He
where it got,
started, I
I
think,
didn't really like
in
it then because it got a little more angular with
yeah.
the art design. I definitely preferred the original animated series style, but like it is, he was voice in it, like you said, there's the Justice League, Batman
Yeah.
Beyond. He was
Mhm.
old Batman. You
Man
know?
of Mask of Phantasm.
Yep, yep.
Phantasm.
I mean, Conroy
Phantasm.
was the man for the longest time doing, and then the Arkham games came along. You had the main trilogy where he was the voice.
Yeah.
And that's again is this it taking over a whole new medium. Yeah, now in video games too. He's the video game Batman too.
Well, and what's so crazy is like I don't remember. I didn't follow him close. Like I didn't check his
Neither did I.
profile every single day, but it's like I had no idea he had cancer. He must have kept
I
that
didn't
pretty
either.
secret. I don't think he made it public, and it's just it's to see him. I think he was at a GalaxyCon in 2000 last year.
Oh, was he?
And I think it's GalaxyCon he was at, and yeah, so it's I think here's the thing, we often, as DC fans, we talk crap on Marvel, and it's due because it's Marvel, and Marvel talks crap on us, but regardless of where you fall and on the scope of comic book fandom and whatnot, like you can respect, like I respect Stan Lee. Do I enjoy his comics? No, because I like good comics, but I can still respect it. I'm just playing a little bit, but I respect Stan Lee and what he brought to the table, and
right. You can have respect for what everybody's brought
I think
in.
in these times you can kind of put aside like, okay, I'm DC, I'm Marvel, and just kind of respect the person that has brought a lot of joy and performance and everything to the table. So I think this will be one day that I won't give Marvel crap in remembrance of Kevin Conroy, even though Marvel's trash. I'm not going to talk crap on them.
This is a funny thing when it comes to voice actors and stuff. It really surprised the hell out of me too for Kevin Conroy when he ended up. And I don't know if you've watched the Venture Brothers, but it was hilarious as hell that he came into that show and was voicing the character's name, Captain Sunshine.
Really?
Oh God, some of the most hilarious stuff in the world, because you get then like he's more of like a kind of Superman kind of character, but at the same time, because you hear his voice, you sometimes hear that slip into Batman and everything. So you kind of just and especially the fact that he has like a Boy Wonder sidekick and everything, it just kind of adds on to all of that. So there's a lot of suggestive stuff with that character, but it was just he did it so well, and it was freaking hilarious.
I don't think there's the saying that's often replicated, never duplicated. Is that
right?
And I don't think you can ever.
No, there's some people that put out a certain unique voice that you cannot recreate. And he definitely had that for Batman. Mark Hamill has it for Joker.
Right.
One of my favorite voice actors is Simon Templeman, and he joked that is just his normal speaking voice, which it basically is, but he has such an epic sounding voice.
I thought it was Gilbert Godfrey.
Oh, good Lord.
Was it not? I thought it was.
Good Lord.
He's one of my favorites. Or was one of my favorites.
Certainly a unique voice, yes.
But the other thing I was thinking about is like, it doesn't matter that he did the voice of Batman for 29 years. His voice just fits the character.
Oh yeah.
And again, I understand that's like, well, you've heard it for 29 years, and I know when you hear a voice for 29 years, whether it's a voice or whatever, they become kind of that, and they become the essence of that role in a sense. But like him, his voice just fit Batman, if that makes any type of sense. Like when you hear Batman, Like you
kind of the
think.
funny. That's kind of the funny thing too, right? Because Batman the animated series kind of came off the cusp of things like the two Batman and Batman Returns.
Yeah.
So you already there was already kind of that impression where you
Michael
had
Keaton.
Michael
Yeah.
Keaton as the
I'm Batman.
as the Batman. I am Batman.
Yeah.
So I mean, and because it even has the music arrangements for the intro and stuff, gets you like, oh, this is that, right? This is from the
Yeah.
movies, right? But then it just gets into it, and it was like, I didn't think of it anything else. I just got swept up and just enjoyed the hell out of that cartoon as a kid, man.
Yeah. And even like, I mean, obviously the animated, but even like it didn't matter like what he did. It's just he became like you
Yeah.
almost expected it. And
Right.
so like one of my favorite comic books, Batman comic books, and there's quite a few, but Killing Joke is one of my probably absolute
That's one
favorite
of the
by
big ones.
by
Yeah.
Alan Moore.
Alan Moore, yeah.
And watching that now, I do have issues obviously with the animated the movie
version.
like,
The
yes,
animated
like,
version of it was they had some things that were very
yeah,
weird.
Barbara Gordon having relations.
Yeah,
That
let's
was a
not
whole
go into
stupid.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
anyways, as a kid, I know it's a kid's show, so we'll keep it PG. But even like reading the comic books, like you kind of hear that voice in your head as you read the if that makes any type of sense. I mean, you're a comic book guy, so it's like it would be like if you had I don't know, Spider-Man fan and trying to hear, I don't know, like,
well, yeah,
hopefully it's not Tobey Maguire in your head. Maybe it'd be a better actor, like,
that's the funny thing. Like I've heard different voice actors for that role for Spider-Man, and I haven't had it be as so singular as it is for Batman for some reason. Like for me, definitely like Conroy, he's it. But like for Spider-Man, no, not so much. I've been a little more flexible with that.
They've had a couple voice actors for the animated the shows and movies for Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, because they had I mean, they even had the '60s cartoon and stuff.
Yeah,
Spider-Man. But I always remember the Spider-Man animated series on Fox. I mean, that was a funny thing. Like Fox had this whole killer lineup of cartoons. They had Batman. They had the Spider-Man the animated series. They had the X-Men animated series. I mean, they had this killer block of comic book cartoons at the time. And it was insane.
It's
especially for the fact that they were from different companies. Oh no, that was WB. Sorry, Batman was WB. My bad.
Warner Brothers, yeah.
But I wanted to say that they still played it on Fox cartoons.
They may have, but that's the thing. Like, there was no comparison. Like, when you get home from school, it was like,
oh no, the quality of animation was astounding for
it's
Batman.
like, am I gonna watch Batman or am I gonna watch Dragon Ball Z? There's no comparison. I'm watching Batman. Sorry, and even the Batman Beyond, which I'm not 100% either a fan of or Batman Beyond's a little.
That was again where they were kind of taking off with some of the weird lore that Bruce Timm was putting into it with the whole but I thought it was kind of cool. I dug the whole futuristic styling, and then it was still Conroy's Batman, so I'm like, hey, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I have that link. There we go.
One thing that I love that he said in the video was like, if there's any advice that I can give to anybody who wants to take up the role as the voice of Batman, is don't. I'm still here. It's just kind of that humor, but yeah. So he'll definitely live on, and he's the. I don't know about you.
Everybody's a lot of our, and I'm sure parents that grew up on that show are passing on that series.
Warner Brothers is about to make a killing right now with Kevin Conroy's the shows and everything. Well, that's what happens, man. Like did you ever read? Is it what was it? Berserker is I think it's a manga book. Berserk, Berserk. And the writer, I think, one of the guys at work I was talking to was telling me that he recently died. And the sales.
That was the rare occasion where I was actually sad to hear about a celebrity passing.
Yeah,
it was Miura, because I was so invested in that manga. Oh God!
But the local comic book shop, they had all of them. They had all of them in. I think there's like 10. Is there 10 of them volumes?
Oh,
like
those killer. Black cover.
Some guy. Yeah,
God, I would love to get my hands on those.
Some guy came in and bought, like, I think they were going for like 50, 60
Yeah,
bucks.
they're $50 a pop.
It was cheaper there than online, but this guy came in. I think he bought every single one of them,
dude.
So they still carry them, but it's just stuff like that. And the guy who created, was it the Super Nintendo NES? I think he died with it like last year. Maybe it was during COVID. I think, was it COVID? But they had those Legos. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think
I can't think of his name, but he died, and then the Lego, they had a NES Lego collector, that collector that like was like $250, and it was selling out. So it's just stuff like that. I think it just happens. So I'm curious to see, how
just the reaction to it for some things. Yeah, no, this is for
he may not need to, because it's Kevin Conroy. It's Batman, and anything. And I say this from a non-biased perspective. I'm really, I have done research on this. Like, anything Batman sells.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. That's been everybody's frustration with WB, is that they haven't utilized Batman to the proper, because for DC it's Batman, for Marvel it's Spider-Man. They have their flagship characters, but they just kind of
don't market
them,
it well,
and they don't know how to
when you pump out
basically marketing.
When you pump out 20 different comic books within a year, specifically in regards to one character, like, and it's like they pump all this stuff out, hoping that they'll get I don't even know if it's thinking that they'll get a winner. They just know it's going to sell. So you can have Batman on an island talking to a volleyball, and somebody's going to buy it. It's Batman,
right?
No different than Spider-Man and everything they've done with. I mean, my goodness, there's they have a Miles Morales now, I think. And
he's just Miles Morales. He's not Spider-Man.
Miles Morales. He was
Peter Parker, Spider-Man.
Okay, so then who's Miles Morales? Because I thought that was Spider-Man.
Miles Morales in
another universe.
He's just his own character. But like it is, they always put the tagline Miles Morales.
I got into an argument about this with somebody at work. I was like, Miles Morales is Spider-Man from an old like Universe 99 or something.
He was from so there was. They had their ultimate verse, which was supposed to be their side universe, where there could be more threats. Their characters could actually die and stuff like that. And they tried to do the whole killing off Peter Parker in that universe to have him replaced by Miles Morales. But like it is, as some people, he's just basically a dark-skinned Peter Parker. He's not a whole lot different from the original. So that's what it kind of gets really goofy. And then the fact that they brought him into the whole main 616 universe. It's kind of like it's the whole problem is too with the whole Spider-Man thing is that they've just diluted the character's name altogether, just because then they have all these spider people running around, and it just loses the impact of even just having the original pop in, because that was usually a special thing, considering his character was very very solo. He was always much more on his own versus a team dynamic. So it's Marvel can go suck a fart.
That's what I always say.
So, but for back to the rest in peace, Kevin Conroy. You provided us with great years of entertainment. I'm probably my next weekend off, I'll maybe throw on some Batman the Animated Series as its own little remembrance. So
I'm trying to see. Let's see. So I wanted to cover that. Do we hop into notes and then do some articles to just get this episode out of the way so I can rest in peace tonight? I don't know about you. Did you struggle watching this? I don't know.
This is weird. This is weird. Like the first
I swear
5 episodes.
If you enjoyed this episode,
No. just let me for the first 5 episodes or so, I was struggling to get through the damn things because they were just so tedious and kind of dull and boring.
And sad.
Yes.
Sad and boring.
Sad and boring. And oh God. And I don't know. I don't know if I'm just kind of I'm just numb to it right now or what, but these recent episodes, maybe they've been paced a little better, but I have been able to get myself through the episodes without taking the whole goddamn day to get through and not want to, harakiri myself, seppuku or whatever. But yeah, that's as much as I can say though, is that I just haven't, I've been able to at least get through them, take my notes quickly and be done with it and, then enjoy the rest of my day. Although the most recent episode, I took a day or so before I finally got to it. And I wanted to finally get to it so then I could go and check out other people's reviews and see what they were saying, like Rhino and Script Trooper. I wanted to check out their videos because, yeah, I mean, they were basically saying some of the same stuff I've taken down notes about. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm not so far out of range with this.
It gets harder and harder for me to watch this. It gets harder and harder. And
yeah, no, I can understand that.
They decrease and
well, it's like some of it's picked up, but some of it is just still dragging. Like they've it feels like they have like artificially stretched out parts of this to make it this whole 12 episods when you really
could have done it in 6, man. They could have
you could have condensed this down. Yeah.
Like I don't regret like not watching it when I was on vacation, but now I'm just like, I gotta like, it's just so bad. Oh, like some of my notes, like, so, I try to throw humor in there, like, and be funny and make people laugh. But man, like I was literally just bullet pointing stuff like 2 to 3, 4 words, like, because I was just trying to get through it. Like it's like,
yeah.
No, should we just do it?
Yeah, we can just jump on into it. Hang on, I was just gonna shoot something off really quick.
Like just the whole dynamic of just the when there's so much more to making a movie, and I think I've referenced this, when making a movie than like putting actors together and hoping that like they can remember their lines, right? And then there's movies like what George did, and he got 3 nobodies at the time really that came together, and the chemistry, we'll say 3, 4, whatever you want to. I'm Bill D. Williams, that's been around, but like 3 characters.
I mean, you talk about the start of it,
yeah, like just came together and everything just was natural.
It just worked.
And what's frustrating is I know that you cannot force chemistry. I get that.
No, you can't.
I fully understand that, but you also can see that if chemistry isn't flowing, get another actor, go another route, and like and I'm trying to say this from a non-biased perspective. Like George did it beautifully. Like he, the chemistry flowed with him, and the chemistry flowed with it. He continued to nurture that relationship and those relationships with the actors, and it just flowed. And then we watch shows like this, like freaking. And I know somebody out there is going to be like, well, hold on, J Hitman 187. The chemistry between Grogu and Mando was quite beautiful. No, like, I'm going to flip this table.
Yeah, freaking puppet.
It's Pedro talking to a puppet. There's no chemistry. Well, no way. He has feelings, and he was talking to him. He was talking in, Yoda's race language. But you know what I mean? And so this, this show, like nothing flows. There's no chemistry. Everything's sad and boring. Like Mon Mothma is not like, and I've not done. I'd love to reach out to OG and Tim, because I've not read a lot about Mon Mothma within EU,
Right.
but I know enough to, I think, unequivocally say that this Mon in this show is not the Mon of, I think, true canon. And for those of
Right.
you
Well,
that
that
don't
was the thing
understand
that
what
we
canon is, it's anything prior to Disney mucking it up.
well, and didn't we go over that like a week or two
We
ago?
did,
Maybe like it
yeah.
was an article where like Tony Gilroy said we threw out
Yeah.
everything that was known about Mon Mothma. And we are rewriting her story,
But
basically.
like
It's like,
you
dude,
can't do
piss
that.
off.
Like you really can't, though, because it's already been established.
Yeah.
So therefore, you're just retcon. At that point,
It's just
you are
retcons
therefore
and
retcon.
rewrites and yeah.
But like, just, and I don't know about you. Before we, I guess, start, but I just, like, nothing flows, man. And I think that's what's so hard about getting through these shows, because everything is sad, boring, nothing flows. There's no chemistry. It's almost like these actors are legitimately, and again, I'm going to sound stupid saying this because actors do read lines off a piece of paper without the paper,
Yeah.
but that's literally what they're doing. Like, I think there's so much more to acting than just like reading a script. It doesn't flow, and it's sad to watch.
and
Like, I want to blow my brains out.
Well, and the funny thing is, when it comes to these shows that they do, all they really end up doing sometimes is cherry picking like some good actors that are basically then meant to essentially carry the show.
Yeah, but who's in this other than what's his name? Skarsgård. I'm trying to think of his first name.
Skarsgård.
Yeah.
God,
Other than that, like, who's in this show that's a decent actor? And
well,
if
I would
somebody
say,
says
Andy Serkis has done a good job with, but you
Schmeagol?
haven't,
Yeah,
yeah,
Schmeagol. Sorry, yeah, Schmeagol.
you haven't gotten through these the other episodes. I'd say he's done a good job with the small role that he's had so far.
Is that from a non-biased perspective? Because
That's from a non-biased perspective. I think
you don't want to talk crap on Schmeagol.
I have nothing. I have no ill or good, whatever. No, I just think he at least made some of it entertaining, but at the same time, even his character was very bipolar and kind of schizophrenic, switching his own positions. But I mean, that's left up to the direction and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise, I think he's done a fine job, but it's just been between him and Stellan Skarsgård. Those two, two of these guys have been, essentially the strong carrying with their performances and stuff like that. I'd say they've been doing the better job. But the funny thing is too is like, and I know you haven't gotten to it, but it's like the most recent episode. I just can't help but think that his role, Luthen, his character, now maybe not as seemingly as somebody put it, as hard lined as he is, but basically the way he's acting, the way he's like setting up these pieces for essentially the rebellion. This should be either Mothma or Organa. Either these two should be the ones that are kind of more, on certain moments recruiting people or using contacts within the Empire, getting their own moles and everything like that set up to be doing that. Now, again, they wouldn't be maybe as extreme at times as I guess Luthen has been, but that's essentially the intrigue and everything that should be brought to characters like Mothma and Organa that should be the ones setting this all up.
Yeah, but that begs my next question: is like, where is Bail? And
that's been the question,
why
right?
Is Mothma going around, acting like a just
a dingbat?
There's, and like I said, I've not gotten, I'm not caught up, but it's like there's one of two things, man. She's either a snake in the grass and she's playing the game, or she's really the scared senator that has been scared of Palpatine for 14 years and is going to take another 14 years to grow into the Mothma that we saw. And
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, that's basically what what they're
but
seeming
she's
to
very,
be
but in
doing.
some of these episodes, like she's very devious, though, almost in kind of how she.
They only slightly give her a moment of being politically savvy.
I mean, basically, all we
Otherwise, though,
smile.
she comes across as being naive and kind of dumb when interacting with some of these people.
Yeah. So, man,
and it's just unfortunate considering you have a potentially great character that could be moving this along a lot better than they are allowing her to.
We need to be careful because we're going to be accused of being sexist if we keep.
I don't care. Go fuck themselves.
Well, let's start off.
I mean, this is a funny thing. It's like I pointed this out too on Rhino. It's like Rhino and Script Troopers. I just use the same comment basically. It's like, Mothma in Dark Forces was telling Jan Ors, if Kyle Katarn is not if he is showing any signs of not being on our side, you are to take him out.
Yeah. She didn't say smile.
Yeah. She was clearly a person that knew exactly what they were into. But like the Mothma we're seeing, which is basically, I mean, maybe not in the same close timeline, but we're practically getting there.
Yeah.
They're night and day practically. It was like, where's that Mothma?
Yeah. Nowhere to be found.
Nowhere. Fucking nowhere. Anyway, shall we get started with this? Because we had our preamble. Episode 8, Narkina 5. I don't even have the episode titles on these. I just have episode 8 because I don't see the titles yet by the time I watch the episode. And I don't care.
It's Narkina 5.
Prisoners getting their sorting to, I'm guessing, a prison colony called Narkina 5. By now, Andor haven't you gotten the picture? They don't care that you're a tourist because he's still spouting off, I'm a tourist. We don't care. This is a funny thing because during the sorting, I made a note. I thought I heard it correct. I see we got the planet Belsavis as a name drop now.
Yeah.
This era's empire now using what the Republic had for it as also a prison planet. Ha! Because what you will eventually learn once we get through more of Star Wars: The Old Republic is the planet Belsavis is a prison planet used by the Republic to house Imperial prisoners and stuff like that they've captured. And I find it kind of funny that now the Empire is using it for the very same purposes.
Yeah.
It was like there wasn't a whole lot of change. So then we get to poor Karn. Karn seems to be getting some Imperial visitors, for better or worse. We don't know. And then back to Andor, getting a bit of a surprise on how locked down the Empire has their prisoner transport. And then I swear to Christ, they can't keep focus. Then it's like quickly back.
It's like squirrel.
Yeah, is then to Imperial Ellen DeGeneres is now questioning Karn. Brings up how he's been pestering the Bureau with inquiries on Andor. We also get that it's been a month between Karn's hiring on and now to Andor getting caught, etc. Which I swear that the spans of time doesn't seem right, but I guess okay. At least it's the way they frame it. It's just like so quick, boom, boom, boom. Not quick, but schizophrenic. Imperial DeGeneres is getting to the bottom of things as she would think he'd want Ferrex behind him as much as possible, but Karn is determined to clear his name and makes the point he never saw Blevins' report and was effectively given no choice but to sign on the dotted line. Wah wah wah. Poor Karn. He just keeps having the shit end of the stick of luck for this.
Maybe his Uncle Harlow can help him out.
Ah, God. Now to Narkina 5. Andor realizing that he is in for some deep shit now, boyo, as the Empire seems to have a bunch of platforms that have an above water bay, but by the looks of it, goes straight down. And now back to Imperial. I should just use her freaking name, but Imperial Degenerates briefing all the rest of the Imperials, especially over this what started with the theft of the Empire tech and has led them to Cassian Andor, and is now and his link to who they are calling Axis. Dun dun dun. Good lord, people. The Colonel Yularen doesn't appear to be paying all that much attention, but reassures her he is listening to the details. Isn't quite impressed or just still thinking this is small fry, but she does press her point, and then with the additional support of Major Partagaz, and concludes more in her favor to find Andor and get to Skarsgård. And that's the funny thing, right? Because we were reading some of those articles before, and the actress playing Deidre Miro was all about how she's fighting against the basically fighting the patriarchy, going against the male leadership,
right?
All on her own, piss and vinegar, all that crap.
And then you got
no, because not
backing her up.
Yeah, like since the start, even though he openly admitted she was basically like a diversity
in a nonchalant
hire,
way, he's always in her corner.
But yeah, he's always been like pushing her and telling her, you can do this, you can do this, you can do that. Don't let up. It doesn't have to just be whatever. But it's the funniest goddamn thing in the world. It's like, so where is that? Because I mean, she's been getting support.
Yeah. It's
from an established Imperial.
From the one of the guys.
Yeah. The guy that's practically in charge of some of this stuff. So I just find that particularly funny, And then so I couldn't help it. These boots are made for walking all over you. Since they had those special little Nike, what is it? The Script Trooper said they were like the Nike pump them up shoes. If you remember those from the 90s,
yeah, they reminded me of kind of the Michael Fox. The Nike did a special Nike Michael Fox.
Oh, the Back to the Future 2 shoes.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. And then so Andor and the rest of the prisoners are being used as prison labor, and their style of stay is up to them. Basically, if they work, they don't get shocked to shit. Also, seems the floors are designed to shock or something, but to put prisoners in their place, and explains the big goofy boots of everyone else. You want to go for some of your points?
Yeah. Let me pull them up here. So I just put recap scene. I said Andor being sent for processing ? Or bunked off to Narkina 5. I love how my autocorrect it corrected to Karen, not Karn. I said Karen at his cubicle. And I think it's fitting because he's the embodiment of a male version of Karen. Who would probably
he keeps trying to see the manager. He does.
Yeah, so I'm just leaving. It's Karen at his cubicle. ISB arrives at his desk. Well, that was funny. Andor being transported while Karn interrogated/interviewed by Deidre. Karn states Andor's a murderer, and he's been trying to find him with the limited resources he's had. Kind of a shot at the imps. This back and forth between Deidre and Karn. Deidre asks what's not in Blevins' report that she needs to know. So this is interesting. It's like, so she's asking these questions, and it's like, I almost think like you've got to know. So like, why do you even like ask the question? Just be like, I don't know, just some of the line of question. It's like, either tell me what I want to hear, or she's gonna come in here and you're really gonna crap your pants. You're gonna crap your pants. Exactly. You're gonna crap your pants with the force lightning that he's about to throw at you, or you're gonna crap your pants because he's gonna walk in the door. So like this whole I don't know. Karen says he wasn't allowed to see the report, but he was forced aside.
I'm gonna probably start using that with new notes. Karen now.
Meanwhile, we have arrived on Narkina 5, an underwater prison ? And just I don't know, just the flow of the show was just is okay, 5 seconds we're on this place, and then 2 seconds later on this place.
It
just
jumps around a lot.
It's then I said, back at the ISB hearing, Homeboy states it's a large investment. Deidre fires back with it's a fraction of the price for lost tech. You right. Partagas comes to the aid of Deidre. Shocking.
Still shocking. He's been doing it since the start.
Right. And he's like, drill down and get a hunt started. He's in jail. How do they? So I was like, drill down and get a hunt started. And then I said, he's in jail. How do they not know that he's Andor? Fake IDs and everything, but he worked for the flipping and did Disney miss the fact that they legitimately established that he worked for the Empire as a cook?
Right.
Are you telling me that the Empire does not have the capabilities?
It's a little bizarre that he somehow managed to skirt under being processed. His image has been taken. So how has this been alerted through the HoloNet in general?
I just, so I'm like, how's the fact that, the Empire, the people that are running the galaxy, like Sheev himself, are not have the abilities or.
Well, and especially now that once Karn gives Miro the information, how is she not, processing that through the system, and then his image gets sorted through, and this prison colony doesn't get alerted that they have basically somebody that the Empire is looking for.
But how I'm so mad I just lost my mic. How do they not know that he's Andor though? He worked for the freaking Empire. Did they not send a drop ship at the beginning of the episode 1 to his planet?
Wasn't it? That was the police that was from that other planet.
No, but when he was a kid, I'm so mad. In the very beginning,
that was the Republic. No, that was the Republic.
I couldn't remember, but anyway, so
they were very clear of making it on saying those are Republic ships that are coming down.
Okay, well, we'll set aside the Republic thing. This is still the freaking Empire, right? So it's right. You have to try harder to convince me that there's no way that they don't know he's him. But then I sit here and I think, well, you know what? Flipping Mando walked into a freaking where were they, an outpost? He was on an Imperial base, and he took his helmet off, and then he's like, oh yeah, access granted. Never, to our knowledge, never worked for the Empire. He's a flipping Mandalorian.
He shouldn't have any access to any Imperial
but
systems
he had
at
access
all.
So this is just this is the kind of stuff that's just so stupid. Anyways,
the blood-boiling retardation bullshit
on. But
and there are people that defend this crap too.
But it's you're telling me, I guess this makes perfect sense if we're going off of everything that Disney has established. If we're looking at this within Disney's version of the Empire, then it makes total sense because nobody's stupid enough to try something, and that's why they don't do anything about anything. Right. But this would be expected because they're all stupid. And well, it says that clearly you're Asian male, but you look very white. But yeah, pass. Come on in.
You can go.
All right. Anyways, I'll go a little bit further. Now I'll take them to processing. I said, are these Imperial uniforms for real with the snowboard shoots?
Snowboard boots, yeah.
The snowboard boots. I said, a lovely introduction, shocking ending though. And then I said, is he still reading his report that he wrote? ?
Yeah.
Then I jumped down and I said, the report was botched? ? So the report that he gave Blevins, like I don't know. I was still trying to figure out that whole thing. This is where I think I started falling asleep. I said Karen takes the time to say he was a good deputy inspector, a good boy. He was a service to the Empire. I'll stop there. I'll let you go.
All right. So then Deidre Miro comes in to ask Karn his impressions of the report filed by Blevin, and needless to say, a lot was apparently shined over and ignored, and Karn does his best to recall Skarsgård, but to little effect. Karn tries to passionately make his point that he was a good security deputy, overzealous maybe, but he was in the pursuit of a dangerous criminal. But Miro isn't bothering with him, and just warns if he tries to let another alarm out on Andor, Karn won't be dealing with her next time. Ruh-roh. Andor being pushed around into some labor work, or into some of the labor work, and seems there's a bit of some trouble. Yeah, kind of. There's goings on between guard shifts. Has Skarsgård learned of Andor and where he is? Gotten a plan to break him out? Something stinks. Because I think that my note about that was there's something shifty, kind of weird going on with the guards and stuff like that.
The African American guy that walked in.
I think so. I don't recall. I didn't.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I thought it was a character from like Aldani, but I think he died. The black guy.
Oh, gotcha.
But I thought that was.
Yeah, I thought like somebody kind of noticed him or recognized him, but no. Kino, the lead prisoner of this area, and he thinks he actually has time left. Ha! But basically explains the job for Keith / Andor, and that it sounds about right for Imperial prison camps. Andor, seeing the robotics of everyone working like they are to assemble whatever it is they're assembling, probably more things that will lead to the Death Star, I suspect.
Oh,
and I think I even saw people talking about it that it's probably all tech for the Death Star.
No, they're not that.
Yeah, probably.
Yes, they are. Leave that in the hands of just criminals to build a Death Star.
Well, to maybe certain small parts or function, certain small parts to it, maybe.
I don't know.
And especially under threat of death, they kind of have to. And then, oh yay, back to Mothma and her domestic squabbles. But what the hell? But what the hell was with the worm in the drink? Yeesh.
Yeah.
This ain't no tequila, folks. Mothma again openly acting against the Emperor instead of again trying to keep hidden. But hey, why bother with what should be? Tay Kolma is back into the picture, and again to seemingly be the dramatics between Mothma and her husband. Mothma is questioning about the money to be moved, but Kolma informs her about the Imperial auditors being put into place. Oh, yay. Lita joins them really quick, and I'm guessing she's suspicious about Tay, too, with the way that went. Because that was her daughter. So there's like a weird, awkward little conversation between them, and the daughter was kind of
I thought they said Leia for a minute. I was like, what?
No, Leia?
Leia, whatever. It sounded like Leia.
I know, it kind of... and then, looks like Andor is losing his shit. Looks like some of the prisoners have their own sign language thing going on and communicating with each other. What could this mean? And then it's funny the conversation had here about, well, if you have nothing to hide or nothing or not doing anything illegal, what's it matter if you're under constant surveillance? That was basically, I forgot who was having the conversation in the show. Oh, it was it was back to the little like little party going on.
Yeah.
And some of the senators or whatever the hell they are was, and I hate that. It's like, no, you have a right to your privacy. That's just it. And that's but if you got nothing to, no, fuck you. I want my privacy.
Right.
God dang it, that intercom voice for this prison colony is reminding me of the one from Red Dwarf. I don't know if you've watched that show at all.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm looking at it right now.
The other cell members are asking what Andor knows of the outside world, and it's nothing. He was enjoying himself, it would seem, on the beach planet. He gets the rundown of his cell too, all the quote comforts he could ever ask for. Just the grueling 12-hour nonstop work and threats of being fried by the floor. Again, so at this little party of Mothma, there's still aliens there, but again, these bland ones Disney Wars has. Where's the Twi'leks, the Mon Calamaris, the Togrutas, a Rodian, an actual freaking Star Wars alien? God!
Yeah.
That was something that I kind of laughed when I was watching Rhino's recent review of episode 11.
Yeah.
10. And he was saying that too. He's like, where are all the goddamn aliens? They're there, but they're just the blandly designed ones that are done by Disney that have no character or anything that stands out. You have to kind of squint and look for them. Seems Mothma was senator at 16 and came to Coruscant and was already married to Perrin, as with accordance with Chandrila customs. So that's how it's gonna go. Gotcha. Then we get a time skip of sort with it saying 30 shifts later, and Andor seems to be in a bit of a routine with the place now. You want to kick over some of yours?
I said, Deidre offers him a good day. Cyril goads her into allowing his help. Yeah, I said, Cyril kind of goads her into her allowing his help. She tells him where to go. Loving the orange cream jumpsuits. Smeagol got promoted to unit manager. Using prisoners for free labor. That's smart. Smeagol lines Keith out. How many different names has this boy had during this show?
Ooh, Andor?
Yeah.
3 or 4 by now.
I said introductions are in order. And I said, did he just put a worm in Perrin's drink?
Yep.
I watched that probably 11 times trying to figure out like what it was. And then when I saw that it was actually like moving, I vomited.
Yeah.
When I saw it like turn into like an Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like, what the hell?
Was like, who thinks that? Yeah.
Like I said, somebody was thinking too much of tequila, and they were like,
I think somebody was watching.
In there.
I think somebody took something while they were watching Pink Floyd The Wall as they were writing the story. Is what
and then there's that. There is that.
Yeah. Little LSD with Pink Floyd The Wall. So this whole dynamic of this conversation is just the worst. I said, Moth needs votes to stall the Emperor's overreach. And I said, and oh, look, Colma, did he change his mind? Drinks are offered. So she says that she needs votes to stall the Emperor's overreach. So this is 14 years after Order 66. Like, it would make sense if it was like a couple months after it.
Yeah.
Or even, I don't even know if it would make sense, because I think like, yes, within like, because you hear it like in A New Hope, and I think it's Tarkin's like, one of the guys is like, how will the Emperor maintain order? And then without the governors, he's like, or without the Senate, or what was the line? He says, how does he maintain order? And Tarkin says something along the lines of like, the regional governors will be in charge of their
Yeah.
that's basically been
That was basically what was getting set up
I
during.
think he said the Senate had been dissolved.
Yeah, that
and
because he
the
walks in and
governor-
he's like, the Senate has been dissolved. The Emperor's
Yes.
like gotten rid of him.
And I
That was
and I
just kind of
understand
that was kind of like the beginning of Palpatine micromanaging.
Yeah, and I get like from A New Hope. I'm just trying to figure out the timeline because there's A New Hope and then there's Rogue One, and Rogue One's X amount of time. I mean, like I don't know how months. I mean, the Death Star's already been is being built, but this is 14 years after Order 66. How many years before Rogue One? Like it's like at this point in time, like are we still like?
Yeah, because they're going to be basically season 2 is going to be flashing forward a bunch of shit.
Is there no? I mean, last time I checked, there was no real form of democracy. Like that's what happened when it went from the Republic to the Galactic Empire. Yes, the Senate was still around, but ultimately the Senate was dissolved, and Tarkin himself said that. So just the fact that they're going around and they're like, I need to stall the Emperor's overreach. Like he's the king of that's what he's been like.
That's what he's been setting up this whole time. But yeah, that was the whole thing was that they had the regional governors that were in control of certain systems. They just weren't senators or anything like that.
It's just funny to hear her say his overreach. Like, one, how dare you to besmirch his name, and two, like this is 14 years after. Like, you should it's no different than like Kenobi. It's like this is like 6 years after Order 66. How many years after Order 66 was Kenobi?
Oh, Kenobi was 10 years after.
10 years, I'm sorry. So it's like, get over your daddy issues. Get over, suck it up and get over it. Like they did in the book. I said, Coleman has bad news. Oh, no, I'm sorry. And this is really interesting. It says, parents like saving the empire from the emperor. Like, what? Like the empire is because of it's just irritating. It's like, why make stupid comments like that? Saving the empire from the emperor. Like the emperor guy was the person that created the empire, or he just took the republic and formed the empire. But it's like, it's just stupid comments like these. This back and forth between Perrin and Colma, mention of rebels. Fun. Coleman has bad news. An increase in imperial auditors making it difficult to move the funds. Kind of like what Biden did with the IRS. And plus all of these, they took a play out of Biden's book. So the daughter drama again. Mon inquired about the money she's already moved. 400,000 credits is what she's worried about. So back to Narkina 5, the underwater prison. And then I said the same thing. Are these guys communicating with hand signals? And then it's like it goes back to like the party. It's like they're frustrated with Palpatine. I said, why? And then this is where I legitimately was getting like frustrated and angry because they're besmirching his name. They're like, too easily provoked? ? You bastards. They say he's overreactive. That's a lie. His primary charge is to protect us. That's what he's doing. He's protecting you.
Yep.
5, where Andor learns about the cells. This is a note, but I want to ask you. It's like, does this cell look anything like Star Wars?
No.
You have a plate that is attached to the wall. You have a vacuum tube where you can eat as much food as you want. I don't know where the toilet is. I don't know where the shower is.
Well, they already had kind of like a weird
okay, but was that a
shower system thing?
But okay, so I wrote that down later because I want to talk about that because I think it's the same thing that I think we're thinking about the same thing, but anyways, so I just want to see if you thought it looked. I don't think it looks.
No, it doesn't look. It doesn't come across to me as particularly Star Wars.
No, it looks like the Halcyon Star Cruiser.
I think Drunk 3PO had a video about that too.
Yeah, they're just trying to get more people to Go and book
do you
there.
too want to live the prison experience that Andor did? Well, come
on to the House and Star Cruiser.
You too can be thrown in the brig
for a mere 500,000 credits, or I'm sorry, 5,000 credits a night. You can live the Andor experience. Eat slop through a vacuum tube.
Oh God!
Shower in a wind tunnel. I said everyone's talking about Aldani. Smeagol gets mad. Mon, a senator at 16, married at 15. Romantic and traditional. I was like, how long is this shift? I had to be careful because I don't want people thinking I said the other word. Even though I'm thinking, like, how long is this going to last? Okay, so this is the scene I want to talk about. So it's like, is that how they decontaminate themselves on Narkina 5, or is that a shower scene?
Probably both. Decontamination and the shower.
It was literally like they went into a wind tunnel.
Yep.
Did you get back to? Did you talk about Ferrex at all, or because I don't want to jump the gun here? Are you back on Ferrex?
My notes were just about to start getting into back to Ferrex. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll say this last one. We'll get back to Ferrex. So I said motivation from Smeagol to win the day.
Okay. So then, oh yeah, because at least they don't have to worry about dropping any soap. It seems that was like you were saying, the decontamination showers. Okay. No worry of dropping the soap. Seems Andor and his crew are doing okay, and now we go back to Ferrex. Yay! Marva is not seeming to be in good health, falling over, trying to pry things open, and seems obsessed with troopers because she's a rebel. Our lesbian duos on Ferrex too, Vel and Cinta. And Vel wants to stay together, but Cinta is all on the rebellion, it would seem. And then there's a bit of sniping between the two, which was pretty hilarious because then Cinta snipes at Vel about being from a rich family, running away, getting into this whole rebellion stuff. Sounds halfway familiar. But Cinta is reinforcing she's all for the rebellion and the cause. I just couldn't help but just kind of laugh that they were kind of telling on themselves a little bit, where they have these stupid little rich kids that go off to try and play rebel when they're the most comfortable freaking human beings on the planet.
I was surprised that they were back. I thought they like bunked off and died somewhere.
Oh, that would have been a blessing, but that was not the case. And then Bix possibly causing troubles as she's trying to reach out to Skarsgård. For the love of, how did this guy get a hold of? Because it's again back to Luthen's damn fucking shop of Easter eggs. That's basically his whole shop. His whole shop is nothing but for the spurgs out there, or as Raging Rhino calls them, the damn seals to clap. The seals got to get the clap because this is a freaking thing. How the hell did this guy get a hold of masks of the Jedi Temple guards?
Yeah,
that were introduced in the
Star Killer?
No, not Star Killer. No. This was introduced in the Clone Wars. Hang on, let me see if I can find them really quick. Yeah. Hang on. So, Mr. Luthen managed to have the masks of a Jedi Temple guard.
Huh.
How?
I must have missed that.
I don't know. Considering a Jedi artifact, yet again, has gotten into this guy's hands. Why or how this would be allowed, I don't know. I didn't think that Palpatine would have allowed anyone access to the Jedi Temple unless it was strictly Imperial, between either Vader or maybe some special forces science crew. I don't know, but I swear to Christ, it's like Luthen's little museum shop or whatever is nothing but the store for Easter eggs that
What if
make
Luthen
zero
is
freaking sense.
here's something I want you to consider. What if Luthen is in reality Palpatine under guise? I bring this up because he has all the stuff that just think about it. What if that's
I've already had this weird suspicion that he is gonna have like force powers or something, or he's gonna be like a low grade Sith almost or something. I don't know. I don't think Palpatine. God, I hope not. It wouldn't,
and
but
the Jedi Rebellion is foiled, or has been foiled. How do you, okay, so I'm just saying, like, how do you explain it? He has a Jedi. You're telling me that this guy has a Jedi holocron, he has a Sith holocron, he has Star Killer's armor, he has the Jedi Temple Guard. Now, like, I'm not saying like it might be a little far fetched to think that he is Palpatine, but I'm not gonna say it could be outside. Like, Disney's done stupider things.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Like, what if he's in like costume?
Look who we got in the chat right now.
Hold on. I got it. Are you ready here?
Go.
What if he is he's the force, the essence of transfer, and is now possessing?
Oh God, don't start with that.
How do you explain it? How do you explain it?
Well, I'm not entertaining that. No.
I'm just saying. Explain it to me.
I can't. And Rhino, welcome to the show, brother.
What an honor.
It's all for the seals. It means nothing else than that. Exactly. It's the stupidest goddamn thing in the freaking world. Oh, all these things, the Jedi holocrons, the freaking Star Killer armor, now the Jedi Temple Guards. There's been other stuff in there that I've missed that I've seen pop up, and it's like, what the fuck?
It very well, and I love what I agree with Raging Rhino. It could be a museum, but how do you explain? Like, how does he have it? I'm just saying, dude. I've said something.
Well, that's the thing that's not going to get explained because it's just the museum of Easter eggs.
Here's the thing: I will eat crow if Deidre is not Andor's cousin, or I'm sorry, not in Arkansas. I apologize. If Deidre is not his sister, and I will eat crow if somehow Luthen is not a Sith spying on Mothma and reporting to Palpatine.
You come up with some of the wackiest goddamn shit. I swear to God.
Bro, war between I keep saying the war between worlds.
Whatever. Yeah.
The Time Bridge, they can do anything they want.
Yeah, that's right. Padme's headpiece was recently noticed. I think that's from one of the newer episodes. Yep. It just keeps new stuff.
I want to know how he got Star Killer's armor.
That's I'm like, how that
we talked about this
military grade equipment, and he's getting his hands on it.
How does Palpatine not know that holocron is there?
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll wait.
not just. Okay, he's got a Jedi holocron. Okay, but he not only has that, but then he has a Sith holocron on top of it. Like, oh my God, you guys are just doubling up.
Do they think though? They're like, oh my goodness, we're gonna just put Star Killer's armor in there. We're gonna put holocron in there, and nobody is gonna ask questions because nobody's smart enough to ask questions. They're just gonna eat it up like it's the oops all berry cereal that cereal ate.
Yeah, basically. Okay, he's got it. Rhino figured it out. He bought the video game. He liked it so much that he made it himself. It's 3D printed armor. That's what it is. We got it. It's figured out. Okay.
Love it. I'll be right back. I could go off myself real quick.
No, you don't get to get away with it.
It's mind-boggling. This show.
Yeah. So continue. And then Luthen's little secretary Clea, is seeming to be the stronger of the two. Big shocker, as she says they need to shut down Ferrex and move on. But Luthen does agree to do just that because he isn't slipping. Gosh darn it. And then Bix is seeming still determined, though, to get out the message one way or another. Luthen may have to shut it down, but it seems he's still heading out one way or another because, hey, he's got to do his thing. Oof, seems someone couldn't take it anymore and jumped onto the floor to off themselves. That was in the back on the prison. I mean, hell, if you had a quick way out, why not?
Do you think we can get to Narkina 5?
Right,
and off herself?
No, you know what? I'm not letting them get away with this that easily. I'm sticking around. I'm ripping this shit to shreds. Okay, let's see. Now is Bix brought the heat on herself on Pax's yard. You just had to send out the message, didn't you, lady? Seems then Imp recognized Bix, and now the chase begins. So wait, Seagra Milo seems to be Saw Gerrera's little hiding place. Yeah, we got to bring back in Saw Gerrera. Yay. Seems Imperial Ellen DeGeneres is playing some mind games as she brings Bix in for some nice chat time and using Pack for that as he's carried out. The end ends on Andor and his prison group working busily to get the parts made and not get fried. So that's the end of my notes.
Yeah, I'll just wrap up mine here. I think you took a lot more than I did, but I'll cut some of them down. So I was like, where is Karen at? No, so I was like, back on Ferrex, Marva not doing so hot, Big's playing Doctor. Marva playing Rebel to help the rebels. Oh, look, Vel and Cinta. Where did they come from?
Yeah, they just happen to. I swear, people are teleporting in this show like they do with everything else. They just pop around.
Yeah. I said Vel and Cinta having issues? Question mark. Cinta is a mirror. She shows Vel what she needs to see. That's like, I actually got diarrhea when I heard that. It came out.
Good Lord.
A little bit. Both ends. Bix needing to look in the back, and by look I mean use their comms. Luthen doing Luthen things. Find Clea on comms. Clea says Luthen isn't thinking clearly. Luthen shuts down the comms. And I said, did Vel dip out? Luthen did. I said Luthen did to Segra Milo. What a way to wake up, smelly burnt corpse.
But it's funny, like the whole scene between Luthen and Saw there. I could swear like they were giving Luthen more of a being almost kind of like in a more strong position than Saw Gerrera was.
Yeah.
Was it just me or
no?
It's funny. Okay, so this is funny.
Luthen holds the cards.
This is funny. They can't help but make their own OC don't steal. The better characters of even established characters from the likes of Filoni and everything. I'm just like, this is hilarious shit to watch. They're making their own original characters overstep the other one.
Yeah, I'm surprised that this got past the Three Stooges desk.
Right?
Because I would have thought
surprised that was allowed to happen.
If anybody needs to be yes.
Yeah, the 8 million credits. We still have no answer to that.
It's just the dumbest thing ever. So
what's happened to the 8 million credits? What's happened to the aliens in Star Wars? We need answers, damn it.
I don't know. I said again, the clinging on Ferrex, finally stormtrooper or proper stormtroopers.
Yeah, we finally get to see some stormtroopers again.
The Imp's calling Bix by name, and she's gone. And then I said this before the scene actually cut to it. I was like, I swear if they had Saw Gerrera in this next scene, and I called it. Luthen trades with Saw.
Who cares?
Yeah, I was like, Luthen trades with Saw a meeting for parts, which is like, yeah. So this whole thing, and then he said, oppression breeds rebellion. Saw doesn't like Anto, I guess. What a great back and forth between Luthen and Saw. Meanwhile, Bix is in for interrogation, or is brought for interrogation. Pat got beat up for info. Deidre trying to intimidate her into telling her about Andor. Andor and his merry band becoming a tight knit group. That's all the end of my notes. However, this dynamic between Luthen and Saw, like to your point, like Saw's supposed to be, this great character that I'm pretty sure Filoni created him. I could be wrong. I thought he did, but and this whole dynamic is like Luthen is the guy that holds. Like Luthen is this mysterious character that has more influence than
like I said,
or Saw.
Well, yeah, like I said, he's basically going to be the guy that's going to be the glue that brings everything together to make the rebellion. I'm guessing that's going to be the case.
How mad are you going to be if Luthen is either one a Sith or he's actually Sheev?
No, I don't think he's Sheev, but I definitely see him as being put as a high pedestal for his placement with the Rebel Alliance. I'm guessing that's what's going to happen.
I'm calling it. I think he's dirty, and I think Sheev used the instance of transfer, and he's actually Luthen. And Deidre's Andor's sister.
Oh Jesus!
And the world between worlds is a real thing that they use.
The little use of that, the better.
This show, like I don't know. We need to get more people on the show because I can't go another 3. I haven't. You guys are caught up, right? Rhino and you are caught up. I don't know if I can actually make it to 11.
Well, God dang it, you're gonna have to.
I don't want to. I want to go watch Bad Batch.
Hey Rhino, if you want an invite, let me know. I'll shoot you one.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, I'll get Rhino on here.
I mean, God, this show.
Like, I want to go watch Bad Batch.
I don't know what that says.
Clone Wars. I'll go watch Clone Wars. This is so bad. This is so again, I think we've said it with the start of Mando. We said it with the beginning of Book of Boba. Like, we anticipate that stuff's going to be bad because history within Disney repeats. This is bad. This is bad. This is probably worse than I really thought. Like when you referenced it was a Trumpian era and all this, like it is bad. It is bad.
No, it's ridiculous.
There's no chemistry. I want to eat nails and drink glass.
Oh Lordy. Oh yeah.
And there was no in cereal. Didn't even eat any cereal this episode. So I didn't.
Hey, he escaped the cereal curse.
Yeah, but I didn't have that to look forward to. So I've not watched any. I didn't watch Script Troopers review yet.
For the newer episodes.
Rhinos popped up on my feed, but I think 11 just came out, so I was like, I want to watch this, but I haven't watched the episode yet, so I waited.
Yeah, I hold out until I at least watch and take my own notes, so I don't
I think it's pretty telling when if you say that you want to go watch Bad Batch, like you're watching this current series and you're like, I would rather go watch Bad Batch and the Clone Wars than watch this.
He said, Raging Rhino, I don't want to finish it either. The fans are stupid.
Dude,
the way you get the way he I went on into the comments. I'm like, Jesus Christ, the way these seals this flock to any video, any comment too, where you're being critical is just so it's amazing how fast they are, and just how they just swarm in like a pack of hyenas.
Yeah, I think they're all paid.
I would hope so. For putting that much time and energy, I would hope to Christ they are. But, I mean, I've seen some people that will defend it regardless.
You remember that when we were talking about the Halcyon Star Cruiser all those episodes ago, and
I
was we saw one of the fans he was like, "Get him, Ray!"
Oh God, that's right.
Use your lightsaber, Ray.
No
worries,
brother. No worries, dude. No worries. Just thought we'd extend it just as you happen to be in. But he says, sorry, guys, I can't today, but maybe next week. Daylight savings ticking over. It makes it easier, and I can catch this live. Sweet. There's an advantage to the daylight savings time. All right.
Definitely let us know, Rhino. We'd love to get you on, man. We've both been following you and watching you, so it would be, I think, definitely fun to get you on.
Well, if it's like a culmination of at least goddamn episodes, you need to catch up, man.
Well, if he wants to hop on, maybe I will.
Ooh, we got some incentive now.
But
yeah,
so yeah, this is.
Well, this is another episode where it just kind of ends too.
So when do we find out if Deidre is his sister? Is that gonna be episode 12? Is that gonna be the last episode?
I'm still wondering when we're gonna get any information about his quote unquote sister, if she's even actually real or not. Because even Marvin was like, it was all a hallucination. Well, it's all in your mind. You've created this.
I've made a pretty compelling argument that I think Deidre is.
We'll hold you to that.
Is his sister.
God, as silly as that sounds, I don't think that's the case, but good Lord, it would be hilarious if it was. It really would be.
Yeah. Yeah. This episode, man. Yeah, so I don't even. I'm not even going to rate it. I'm not even going to give it the.
What's the rate?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I told you. I mean, my rating is this. My rating is this. I'd much rather.
Schizophrenic mess.
Yeah. The biggest thing that I have is, where is Bail? Because this whole show, in my mind, just undermines his role within the rebellion. Now, I don't even know. Like, where is he? That's my. But you can't.
That's just it. Like I said, I said it in some comments. It's like, Organa and Mothma should be the ones that are basically doing the Luthen thing. Not as extreme as him, maybe, but
the actor that portrayed Bail was like, this is a.
Listen, I already got shit on enough with Obi-Wan. I'm not coming back for anything else.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna use the first part of raging word, but it's just a raging dumpster fire, and it's like, I want nothing to do with this show, so like, don't invite me on this show because I'm not coming.
Yeah,
this show's a dumpster fire. It's actually probably worse than a dumpster fire. I could probably handle a dumpster fire. This is like, I think there's.
Oh. Hang on. This is interesting. So, Rhino just dropped this in my DMs. Apparently, Tony Gilroy, I hate Star Wars. Oh, and Script Trooper, brother, welcome to the show. Welcome. He says, yep, they wanted a quasi good guy, but it wouldn't have fit Bail's character. After Rogue One said Andor did all this immoral stuff for the rebellion, this is where they had to go. And apparently he said he was in it since he was like 6 or something, but clearly he wasn't until he was an adult. So
that makes a lot more sense thinking about it. But
so hang on, let's see. Tell me if you can hear it or not.
To the director's cut, I have a screenplay credit in the arbitration that was easily won.
Right.
So that's
it's clear that you remade the movie. Were you scared about it because it's Star Wars? I'm asking the emotional question.
No, I was actually, in fact, that was my superpower. I don't like I just never been interested in Star Wars ever.
Wow.
I had no reverence for it whatsoever.
So again, they keep hiring people that want nothing to do with this. That want nothing to do with this property. What the fuck are they doing?
I'm speechless. I have nothing to say. I can't. Yeah.
I mean,
I got nothing.
Oh.
I've never liked Star Wars, but I've had zero reverence for Star Wars. but Disney's going to pay me to direct a Star Wars show, so I'm going to do it.
And I mean, this is just funny too. So this kind of goes into what we, one of the articles that I had saved. I mean, it's this whole how these people have also felt handicapped while trying to write for Star Wars. Hang on, let me remove that. Boom. Bring this up. So yeah, the Obi-Wan Kenobi writer claims he felt handicapped by adhering to Star Wars canon. Show completely disregarded canon anyways, which yeah, we got that. We got that. Obi-Wan Kenobi writer Andrew Stanton recently admitted he felt he was handicapped in his storytelling possibilities by having to adhere to canon, a very important thing to any property, especially one that has built up its lore and done all of that. So Stanton spoke with Gizmodo, where he told the outlet that that was the blessing and the curse of it. It's like one, you're geeking out that you get to type Vader says this and Kenobi says that. You pause and say, I can't believe I'm actually getting paid to type this. I can't believe these words may be said. Blah, blah, blah. But then another part of you, it has to go through such a rigorous, like, does this fit the canon? And I feel like it's bittersweet. The reason that this happens is because people care. It also kind of doesn't allow some things or sometimes things to venture beyond where maybe they should tell a better story. So it can sometimes really handicap what I think are better narrative options. Wow. So, I mean, Timothy Zahn, Drew Karpyshyn, you know, all those guys that had written for Star Wars, Karen Travis, you know, all these people that worked with the lore, worked with the canon, they didn't seem to have too much of a problem with it.
Yeah.
This is again these people that don't really care. You know?
I'm still in shock that, like, yeah, like Tony, that he had the audacity to say that, and then he had the audacity to take a paycheck from the very people that it's just so stupid.
Oh God! I mean, this is between this twat waffle and then freaking Tony Gilroy. I mean, they're just going for all these trifectas with these people that don't really care about the property, don't really care about the lore like the rest of us do, that want to see certain characters brought to life, truthful. I guess truthful. Honestly, I don't know how else to put it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, Script Trooper, it's actually easier to work within established rules. It's just an excuse for them to write their own crap out of sheer ego or beer ego.
Yeah.
Beer, sheer, both work. I mean, I just, it's not. Well, that's the thing that I liked Script Trooper. So when I checked out some of your videos, kind of I gotta give you props for doing some of those.
Oh yeah,
at least you, because yeah, I mean, working within the own system, you at least the rules. You know where where you can guide certain characters to certain things. Yeah, but you can throw in little surprises here and there. I mean, that was I think some of the things I got introduced with the Thrawn trilogy too, is like the Isilamiri that could, block force powers and stuff like that. I mean, you can add other things that'll help enrich the universe and everything like that. You just don't have to completely use it like your goddamn soapbox. But I mean, that's basically like I've pointed out previously is that, and that's what Eric July has pointed out. They get a hold of these properties like Star Wars, like Batman, like we were talking about at the start of the show, and the Spider-Man or something like that. And all they want to do is just use them for basically either probably maybe in Gilroy's case, revitalizing his career a bit with getting his name on Star Wars or propelling it to get that career. Because hey, look, didn't we joke about this on Sunday Night Shenanigans? The whole oh god, my brain just fried. Oh, I'm sorry, my brain just completely just vented out the air.
It's like because I've worked on Star Wars, I can do anything else I want to do.
Basically, yeah. The whole vanity project and stuff like that. It's just
it makes me really not want to. I mean, now that he said that, like, I really don't want to continue.
You don't want to continue watching this?
No, I'll go back to Clone Wars. You continue with this. I'll do Clone Wars, and then we'll meet up in the middle, or meet up at the ends.
Rhino, but at least there's people that understand what Star Wars is. It's just too bad the SEALs have taken over because most actual Star Wars fans are out. It's kind of sad, really. Yeah, that's the most unfortunate thing about it. But at the same time, while there's the case of like quote unquote legitimate Star Wars from Lucasfilm, Disney, whatever you want to call them at this point, I mean, there are fan projects out there. And I need to kind of get back into looking into some of those, but we've viewed some of the trailers for some of their for some people's stuff, and there are at least the fans that are still trying to create.
Well,
some good stories out there.
The fan stuff that you find is a million times better than what they're actually pumping out.
Yeah,
from not only clearly from a writing standpoint, but also graphic standpoint.
Yeah. Well, and even for some that are just kind of, winging it like they are, there is the group that, and again, maybe next episode we'll kind of do some more look at that sort of stuff of the fan projects.
We should do a show dedicated to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, maybe once we're done with Andor.
If we get done with it,
we'll get done with it. But no,
I'm about done with it. What are you talking about?
there's a group on YouTube that's doing the Thrawn trilogy. They're animating it basically with like CG stuff. That's I mean, it's a little janky, but I mean it still looks good too. I think we even played a part of one of the trailers on here.
Yeah.
Early on. But there's, and I think there's the little fan show Bucketheads, I think it's called, that I was look at. That's pretty good.
What was the one about the cops? It was
that was the troops or whatever.
Yeah.
That was an old one. That was great.
Yeah.
Script Trooper, if you watch my video, The Tragedy of the Star Wars Sequels, at the very end, KK says directly that they write the stories to send the message they want and fit the characters into how they see fit.
I mean, that's 100% accurate.
The message. And that's what Star Wars has basically become. Just another vehicle for the message.
Just a mouthpiece of whatever propaganda you want to.
Yep. Oh, good Lord. Lordy.
I'm not excited for episode. I don't even know which one. I always have to look and see what the next one is.
Well, let's see, for you, episode 9, because this was 8, so you're slowly but surely getting there. The last one, Nobody's Listening. Oh God, that was another kind of nothing burger episode.
Nobody's listening. I'm not listening. I'm gonna take holiday again. No way. Yeah. No.
It's just funny though for that episode, considering the point Andor's trying to get across, and it's just like, but this is also the Empire, who's supposedly got their ears everywhere and stuff like that, and yet for some reason they aren't taking strict control.
Well, what did I
over
what
this
did I,
prison? It's like, what the hell?
what did I say last? It was the All Donnie episode. He's like, they're too stupid to prepare because they don't think anybody would do it or anybody would attack them, and it's just the way that they portrayed these characters, and I literally
like we've said, it's like they've made the Empire look incompetent and stupid at every chance too.
It's almost like at this point in time, what's the Spaceballs is more serious than this stuff.
Oof! Come on now.
I'm just saying, man. Like this Empire, the Empire within this show compared to, it's a joke, man. Like, absolutely, 100%. I'm gonna go and watch Spaceballs after the show. What about you?
Maybe I'll either throw on some Mystery Science Theater or I'll throw on Batman. I don't know.
I need something. We need to do a palate cleanse
after something like that. Oh, do we want to go over anything else?
I don't know if I had anything else really.
I
have a bunch we can save next show. Unless you had anything, I didn't put anything on Discord.
I had a couple of things, but yeah, Rhino. It's the same. It's the same as the prison. Why aren't there enough guys? Because people wouldn't be stupid enough to attempt an escape. Why wouldn't they put shields on Fortress Inquisitorius? Yeah. Because no one's stupid enough to attack it. These writers are creatively bankrupt. And then some in between. Good Lord. No, it's...
I think it's...
Sorry, I actually muted myself.
Where'd you go?
Well, it was, that was like the thing too, because they, in episode 10, they do their whole breakout, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I expected them to get to the top and there would be like ships or something like that they would maybe try and steal and get out. But no, apparently they were able to swim and get away. And it's like, I'm sorry, I thought the Empire knew how to secure their bases. What the hell is this shit?
Yeah. I can't wait for episode 9.
Script Trooper well said. They throw a line in on hopes people are too dumb to see through it. Yeah.
I think that's the story of the show, though. It's like they just
see what they could get past you to see if you're too dumb to, or just to see what you eat up. Like they throw in the little side attractions, like
it's like
Luthen's museum thing, and it's like, oh hey, look, get distracted. Shiny bit.
But they don't even like expect people to be like, wait a minute, like how does the Dark Lord of the Sith, the guy himself, the goat Palpatine, not feel a Jedi or a Sith holocron? And I know they still
that's another thing. Did you see any land? They had a long fucking way to swim. They did. They really did. Because I mean, it was nothing but like 3 pylons out in the middle of the ocean that had these little bases set up, and it was like ocean until you finally got to.
You're making me really excited about the next episode.
I just want you to catch the hell up so we can talk about all of them. Maybe if you just do all 3. Because we're gonna be going into the next week, so you're gonna have technically 3 episodes. I've been keeping up. I've got my notes. I'm ready to freaking go.
Yeah, good on you, dude. I can't make it to one show without wanting to go play into traffic.
Yeah, Padme's headpiece. We covered that too. I saw some images float on Twitter about it. I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Did you catch? He had Mando's armor.
What?
Yeah, he had Mando's armor.
He has some Mandalorian armor?
Yeah, He had Mando's armor And this episode I just watched, because I watched a video on it, it's Mando's armor. And apparently yes.
The Narkina 5 episode?
Yes.
Okay, what? I didn't even.
They did a side by side. The video that I watched, the side by side of the armor that he had in the museum at Luthen's shop. They did a comparison with the armor in his shop to Mando's armor, and like when he gets the new armor from like episode, was it 3 or 4, where he gets the Beskar armor?
Yeah, something like that.
He had Mando's chest piece in the museum.
Okay, now I'm really kind of curious. I'm kind of
explain that guy if he's not Palpatine.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, you'll have to go back and look it up. The video, I was watching the video before the show because I finished it this morning, and it was a side by side comparison of the Mando's armor, the chest piece.
Oh, Jesus. I mean, it's just amazing. Like I said, is it from the get-go? Well, Rhino's confirming it. That's true. He did have Mando's armor.
See, sometimes,
but in this time period, Mando's armor hasn't even been made yet. Yeah, that's kind of like where I'm kind of like, what the hell? So yeah, okay.
Isn't that crazy though?
The Sith. That's funny. The Sith helmet's still the helmet's still hanging around.
Yeah, but that's another thing, because I know that technically Force Unleashed is still considered canon, but how does he have Starkiller's armor?
Well, that was my big question from the get, was how the. Oh, okay, yeah. I think I don't know. I did see this armor piece. Okay, I'll try and pull it up in a moment. Ooh, dang it, went too far. I let the video play just a little too long. Okay. Yeah, so this I almost see, this is a weird thing. My brain almost was like, wait a minute. Are they, and then there's the Jedi Temple helmet right there behind the gauntlets there. But this armor, I almost was like, wait, is that supposed to be the Sith armor from Coder? Mm-mm. But I looked at it, I was like, okay, no, it's not.
Yeah. And then they have the Jar Jar, they have the Gungan shield back there.
Yeah, the Gungan shield back there.
It's just a treasure trove of nostalgia because they can't come up with anything good.
Okay, so really quick too. There's the helmet still. There's the and I swear I saw this right here. I almost thought he had a lightsaber now.
Is that not Luke's lightsaber?
Either that or Obi-Wan's.
Is that not his lightsaber?
I don't think it is. I'm just now starting to see things. That's all.
He went to Tatooine and he unburied it.
Oh, shut up.
Oh, he's a treasure rat.
Yeah, so the treasure trove of.
I can't wait to watch more videos on explaining this episode.
I don't know how you could endure that sort of shit. People,
yeah,
like especially people that are probably praising it, right?
No, I'm just ripping it to shreds. Like,
oh, okay.
I need to, I really would like to know, like, find an explanation. And if Raging, you have one, or Script, you have one to explain how he has all these different, other than it being like, Raging said, it's just a museum of nostalgia.
Yeah,
like, because it should, like, if you see this stuff and you don't ask the question, I question your mental state. I don't know. Like,
that's to put it kindly, yeah. But I mean, that's basically
just like you don't ask the question. It's like you're going down the street and you see a
no. This is just the blind.
Offering you candy.
This is just the blind consumers. That's just it. These are just the people that are blindly consuming each and every little thing, gobbling it all up.
Get it?
I mean, to some degree, that's what we're technically doing, but I mean, we're questioning all this. We're ripping it apart too. So I'm justifying my consuming of this bullshit property.
I'm just excited to see that Lucas Palpatine. How about you?
If your theory turns out correct, that'll be something else. That'll be really something else.
I definitely think that she's his sister. I think that's more plausible than him being
Nero being his sister.
Oh yeah, Deidre, 100%, 100%, fully convinced.
Palpatine should be able to sense the amount of force energy coming out of his store that he would raid his store. That was what I said when I saw the goddamn holocrons. I'm like, there's no way there could be those holocrons on that planet, and Sidious does not go, hey, wait a minute. I said,
wouldn't it be something if that was like one of the holocrons from like a Jinta Paul or Exar Kun?
Who knows? Yeah, it could have.
And Palpatine's just like, I
don't care about those. I don't need them anymore.
I've got all I want and all I need.
Well, and like this was the thing when we were reviewing that episode, right? Was like what I said was his little assistant could have been like, hey, or because he was having like some sort of self-doubt, or he's worrying about because he was worrying about the heist and how it was going. Like she could have pointed them and go, well, why don't you just confer with your holocrons there? And they could have just done it where he just kind of waved it away, but like, oh, those aren't real.
Yeah.
Boom. There you go. That would have immediately just made it would have been okay. They're there, but they're fakes or whatever. That's how he would have gotten some of the things that he does to get people to buy shit. Is that maybe he makes he takes some creative liberties, as it were.
Yeah.
They fetishize every little stupid artifact. It's lazy ass writing. Yeah.
The more I watch this, the more angry I get. The more frustrated I get.
Well, they just end up.
And the more I miss Bad Batch.
Good Lord. Well, yeah. Actually,
let me ask you this.
Okay.
Was Kenobi as bad as this show?
Kenobi was worse. I would still say Kenobi was worse just because the damage it did to established characters.
Bro, but
especially that were close to me.
Is one of your favorite characters, and this is Kyle Katarn. This is Kyle Katarn is one of your most beloved characters. This is.
But the thing is though, is that they're not tying it that closely to his storyline. That's just it. This is like Andor is their own little creation. They're a little OC don't steal. So I can
Andor is
I can separate. He's
how can you separate it? Discount.
He's discount.
Literally the same. Literally the same. Kyle worked for the Empire. Andor was a chef with the Empire. Kyle carried his briar pistol. Andor's carrying a briar pistol.
Shut up. Just shut up.
Just saying, man.
No, because
Kyle stole the Death Star plans. Andor stole the Death Star plans.
No, because Kenobi, it was, that was
yeah, okay. I like what you're
Kenobi was worse, but Andor is lazy and still really bad. But it's just it was, like I said, it was taking more established characters and mucking with them, while this is Mon Mothma's kind of the only established character that we have so far. Yeah. They are mucking with her, don't get me wrong. I am fully on like they are screwing with her character, but she's kind of the only one. While I don't care what they do to Saw Gerrera, because I mean he's basically their freaking Che Guerrera stand-in, so I don't care. Go ahead and muck with that character for all I care.
No, I agree. Kenobi is worse, but this is really, I mean, it's bad.
It's like Rhino said, it's lazy writing. It's very poorly paced. We already said almost an hour ago, this could have been cut down to 6 episodes. This didn't need to be 12 episodes. You could have condensed the first 3 alone into a single episode. This all feels artificially stretched out just to maybe
they could have done the show without him going to prison, because I still have yet to figure out why the hell he went to prison.
Yeah, the only thing I'm thinking of is that they're gonna maybe, and I don't think what.
That's how he meets his sister.
Prison?
Yeah, that's how he has a reunion with Deidre. Deidre's gonna find out he's in prison. She's gonna visit him.
Somehow stumble upon. No, I think that maybe they're gonna end up bringing Kino back into this somehow by either using him as bait to lure Andor, because Kino is the only one that ends up staying at the prison facility. So I got a weird suspicion he might come back in some form for that. Like maybe that's how Miro and Andor kind of have a standoff.
Do you think Mira's gonna hug Andor when she sees him again, or do you think?
Yeah, and like Rhino points out, real world police brutality. Yeah, that was well on display. That was well on display with, especially like when they were first getting into the prison and stuff like that, and then just the regular shit going on.
Yeah.
Script Trooper Mon Mothma has like 15 scenes talking about her family, money that were all completely pointless. Yeah, and like I've said, was saying earlier was what I was saying earlier too, is that she's basically, even though this was the character that, and you could say, oh, those were deleted scenes. Well, fuck you, it was in the book. She was the one that was trying to use some political savvy to, take Palpatine out of his powers, get him to revoke his emergency powers and, step down, and was wise enough to keep herself off the signatures of 2000, whatever. And then, keep herself out of the limelight, yet here she is at any chance getting into that limelight, getting into basically putting a big target on her back that she's, and unlike what they said at the end of Revenge of the Sith, you may hear about us doing some things that aren't like us, but just know we have to keep ourselves hidden.
Yeah.
But we will be working in the shadows to eventually fight against the Empire.
Yeah.
And yet they have, like Script pointed out, Mothma talking nothing about her money, and then any other little things that like involved Luthen, she was getting all jittery and scared and stuff like that. And it's like, but this isn't the same character. And I know they already said they threw out her original character to make way for a new one, but they replaced it with a bunch of stupid family drama bullshit that is kind of now starting to amount to stuff with trying to use some of the Chandra-La traditions, but that'll be for when you get to those episodes. So
so excited for the next episode.
He's got to catch up, dude.
One of these days, I'll be caught up when 12 hits.
We see that's just it. It'd just be good, so we just boom, we'll be able to do a celebration. Maybe feel like, yay, we're finally freaking done with Andor.
Should do something special for like the last episode.
Script Trooper. Yep, Luthen wasn't in the Revenge of the Sith deleted scenes. How did he become spearheaded this over that whole group of people? That's my point right there. Thank you. That's been the but like I said, like it is, their original characters get propped up over established characters. We've seen this with even they tried doing that with oh god, what's her face in Obi-Wan?
Reva,
yeah. Basically her stepping even above the Inquisitor and stuff like that at times. It's like they try and use some of these freaking Rey and whatnot being a step above previously established characters. It's like, no, they're supposed to have their place in the galaxy. No, stop messing with that. It's also tiresome, man. It's just also freaking tiresome.
I feel after watching, the only saving grace in this show is the fact that there's 8 minutes of credits at the, 8 minutes of credits and then that opening scene. So when I see that an episode is 52 minutes and I've only been watching it for 30, that's like my, my saving grace.
Yeah.
Now that I say that, they're going to cut down the credits the next 2 episodes.
Yeah, just you watch. It'll get cut down severely.
Ugh.
No, I don't even know how you watch like the recap and stuff. I would just skip over the dang recap personally. I just go right into the show. But then you had to try and skip the damn title card because that takes forever too.
Yeah. Yeah, you see why I can't double up on them? You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, you could just skip through them too.
Could try. I'm just gonna get on Reddit, but give me a brief description of the episode.
Give me the cliff notes, please.
Yes.
Well, I think we've had our fun.
What a show, man! This is like this is great having Script on and Raging. Like, thank you guys for popping in.
Yeah, both of you guys. Thanks for
two
popping
of the main
in.
guys that I know I can attest for Fractured. I follow you both and love your guys' stuff. So
thanks for popping in, guys.
Maybe one of these days we can get you guys on and we can all
we can
rage together. No pun intended.
Yeah, because we've tried getting alternative voices at least, and the guy keeps flaking on us. So,
my brother is one of them.
Daviaso. We've tried getting him in just to have an alternative. I've tried getting my buddy Das Mordo on, but I think he'd be a little more fun.
Yeah,
but he doesn't. He's a little shy. But just going out, I thought it would be cool if they developed the first episode storyline where you think Luthen is crossing the line, and then the main rebel group has challenges with a Luthen splinter group. Well, I think they already kind of added that with Saw. He's that splinter group, but oh well.
Yeah, but it was very apparent that Luthen was holding the cards in that conversation. That's how I took it. At least I could be wrong. But
no, it was. I would agree with you. And with that, guys, thanks. And the rest of the people, thanks for showing up. Remember, tomorrow, 5:30 Mountain Time, we'll be doing our Sunday night shenanigans, some more Star Wars The Old Republic play over on our Twitch channels. Check it out. We'll be back next week for more Saturday night Sith fun as well. So with that, I'll say goodnight, and I'll play us out. I don't really have this ready.
What is thy bidding, my master?
Yeah, I should have known from the very beginning. From what you said. Yeah, when the mega powers were formed. Yeah, what you were out for from the very beginning. Yeah, you were after what was mine. I remember what you said.
You can destroy the Emperor. Join me. Together, we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
Yeah, that one was rough. Those words right there. Yeah, I got stuck, yeah, but I swallowed it anyway. Didn't like the taste, but I swallowed it anyway, yeah. But I remember the time when there was a conquistador out of the ring, the one that's so jealous that he can't stand it, yeah. Yeah, you came in there with your poses, yeah, but you made a big idiot out of yourself, yeah. And speaking of idiot things, what about that stupid idea? Did you forget that one? Think back. That right there sealed your fate. Yeah, that put the madness over the edge. But I'll tell you what felt even better, yeah, was in the dressing room, in the first aid room. Me being unselfish, yeah, said go ahead, do the thing, yeah. You won't steal my thunder, no. When you take a look at the madness's eyes, all you're gonna see is complete and utter break.